You ain't like you was back in the camp. Little mouse running around, scared of her own shadow.
It wasn't my shadow, it was my husband's.
Well, you don't seem scared of nothing anymore.
I'm not.
You're a late bloomer.
Maybe you are too.
Hey Zed Heads, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is the Walking Dead cast episode 101.
Woo!
So we're selling tickets for our San Diego event, which I'm really happy about. I was afraid we'd sell zero because it's my first event, but we're selling tickets and I'm getting more and more excited about it. And it's with James and Eric from the Walker Stalker podcast. And unfortunately, Karen can't be there, but we're going to try to Skype her in with her curlers and everything since it's going to be 3 a.m. in Israel. Well, you don't have curlers, but
I'm going to bring curlers.
You should.
Just for this occasion.
Yes. So that should be worth the cost of admission right there. And it's walkingdeadcast.com/tickets. So if you're going to be at Comic-Con or you got someone in San Diego you've been wanting to visit, now is the time.
That's right.
Come see us. We're going to have a party. It'll be a live podcast. Probably have some of the actors from the show. It'll be some of the B-level actors, but it'll be fun. And you'll get to schmooze with them and everything.
Man.
So
I want to be there.
Go. Andrew Lincoln, that was pretty great, huh? We talked to him. You guys, some people just like to download ones where we talk about the show and not the interviews. But if you did that, check this one out. He was really great.
We could listen to him, like just talk all day. He's got a great voice and he's really sweet.
And I was happy too, because the first time I interviewed him was back when we first started, and I was pretty nervous and not very good at it yet. And this time I felt it was just fun. And, I always feel like if I'm having a good time, then that's a pretty good sign. And we both had a good time with that one. Yep. In fact, I wanted to play a little like behind the scenes thing. It's like, when we have people say things for us at the beginning of the show. Well, he had a great one this time. And then I'll play the next few seconds after that so you can hear how our reaction is. Here we go. Wait a minute. Where did it go? Yeah, here it is.
Hey, this is Andrew Lincoln, Rick from The Walking Dead. You're listening to the 100th Walking Dead cast with Karen and Jason. I'm sorry this happened to you.
Thank you so much.
You guys are crazy.
You guys are crazy.
Is that what he said? I had a hard time hearing what he said.
I think he said, you guys are crazy. Like the time when we had Stephen Yun say, hey, dumbass, you're listening to Jason and Karen.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So big surprise. We giggle.
I can't believe what we get people to do, too.
I know. We should try to really push the edge and get them to say nasty things.
No, I was thinking fly out here and come and sit in on a show.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Maybe he'd do that.
This episode, I just finished talking earlier today with Dallas Roberts, who, as you know, plays Milton. I've always wanted to that's coming up, by the way, but I've always wanted to get someone on right after they die so I can talk to them about what that's like.
Right.
And I'm like, who are the people that are likely to die? Well, probably Milton and Merle. So I think it's going to be Milton. I'm going to try to get Milton. And then it was Merle. Damn it. I should have tried to get Michael Rooker. But I really had a great, I had a good time talking with Dallas, and it was, I think you guys will like it. He gave a lot of just definitive answers. So that was great.
And he settled a bet.
And he settled a long-standing bet between Karen and I.
I guess you can figure out how that went.
And I kept hearing there were spoilers this week, like an image got released.
Yeah.
And, now I know it was probably of Merle. And maybe I should have looked at that, if I was going to try to figure out who to get on.
Well, it's kind of nice not to be spoiled.
I don't like being spoiled.
Yeah. So
good
for you.
So anyways, Dallas Roberts is coming up. But first...
Attention shoppers.
To our show.
Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's Top 5 highlights for Season 3, Episode 15, This Sorrowful Life.
Yep.
Okay, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 4.8.
Wow, you loved it, huh?
I loved it. Loved it.
You know what? I liked it a lot. And especially after hearing people's email comments and stuff, I'm liking it more and more. But I have to admit, about halfway through, I was like, I'm bored. There was a lot of speechifying in this episode. And every speech had meaning and relevance. But still, it was like long conversation here, long conversation here. And I was like, and I'm like, I want the war. I want to see what's going to happen next. And then the ending came and it was amazing.
Yep.
And it bumped my score up, but I only gave it a 3.75. I did like it. Maybe I should bump that up to 3.789.
No, let your score stand.
Yeah, you're right. But still, anyways.
Written by Scott Gimple.
Written by Scott Gimple, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Directed by Greg Nicotero. And I feel really pretty good about Scott Gimple taking over the show.
Yeah, I do too. I totally do. His episodes are always really strong.
Yep.
Let's go right into it. You go ahead.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. My number 5 in this episode is Michonne. I loved her in this episode. I thought she was wonderful. They're giving her dialogue, smart, great dialogue, and I could watch her talk, and I just love her. I think
she had a different vibe this time, more at peace.
Yeah, she seemed very calm and very mesmerizing, and
she was great.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought that it made me wonder, like, she's usually so angry, and now she's actually being kidnapped and harassed by somebody, and so shouldn't she just be really angry and wanting to kill him? But I guess she turned a corner, and even now, I mean, like, the corner that she turned was that she sort of became more a part of the prison family. But this is like Rick is turning on her. So even though I liked her performance too and the way she played it, I didn't quite get it as far as why is the character so serene about all of this.
Well, she had a lot on the line. If she didn't convince Merle to let her go, she knew she'd face a certain painful, torturous death. So this was her big moment, and she had to convince Merle. So she got very calm, and she was mesmerizing, I thought, and gorgeous. Poof, just such a beautiful actress. And my God, does she kick ass! So the scene of the two of them getting the car, and he sets off the car alarm, and all the zombies come. And it's also my zombie kill of the week. I mean, there's like 3 of them. First, when she stomps on the zombie's head, and she's doing this all while her hands are bound to the column. And then the other zombie comes and she decapitates the other zombie with the wire.
The phone cord.
Yeah, it turns out that Glenn isn't the only one who can kill a zombie with his hands bound. She can do it too. She's fabulous. She even went back and killed that one zombie's the head that was still. She went back and killed it.
I didn't quite buy that she couldn't get out of that phone cord. She's so badass. It seemed crazy to me that she seemed pretty confident that she was going to get away from Merle, but it seemed like Michonne the ninja could have gotten out of it more quickly than that. And when she stomped on that zombie's head, it looked very fake. It looked like
they're pretty gushy.
A rubber head.
They're gushy by now. It
didn't look like. Usually they just look soft, but this one looked like a rubber zombie head. And then the phone cord through the neck. And then I'm like, okay, I guess now the show is just overtly saying that they're decayed to the point where they're really soft. But what about the spine? I guess maybe the bones are soft too. They must be because the knives keep going through skulls really easily. I liked that kill, but
They're decaying.
it's just so easy. It's so easy to just squish right into them.
Yeah, they are decaying.
It's less impressive to me when it's so easy to get through their skulls and their spines and stuff
Well,
like
she's
that.
pretty motivated.
Yeah. Bless you.
Sorry. My allergies are really kicking
No.
up. Yeah. I'm good. I'm sorry. Sorry.
So, I mean, I liked all that too. I'm just pointing out.
Sure.
my nitpicks.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, my number 5 is Rick deciding to give up Michonne. I thought that was ridiculous because Rick knows damn well that giving up Michonne's not going to do anything. And so it felt like, okay, this is a plot device so that Merle can know Rick better than Rick knows himself, which I thought was interesting. I like that part of it, that Merle knew Rick better than Rick knew himself. But I just don't believe that Rick would do that. Such a horrendous act that was probably going to be futile anyway.
But he wouldn't. He couldn't.
Why would he even think about it?
Because he's desperate.
Yeah, but you can do something else. I mean, if you're desperate and it doesn't mean you go, okay, I'm really desperate. Let's do something I know won't be effective. It's more like, let's fight or let's run away. Those are the choices. Not do this, give up your friend to get her tortured and have them come kill us anyway. I mean, that's not, it's just ridiculous to me. But it was basically there to serve Merle's story, I thought, which is Merle, knowing Rick better than he knows himself, and also the ending where Rick decides it's not a Rick-tatorship anymore and he just can't be running the show. He has to include everybody else. So that was a turning point for Rick, which I liked. But anyways, I was also thinking about how Michonne trusted Rick over the governor, and look where it got her. He betrays her. So I would think that when she got back to the prison, she didn't know that Rick changed his mind. Knowing Michonne the way she has been, she'd go right up to him and chop his head off. You'd think, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know. That just felt a little off to me. Rick deciding to do that.
Yeah. My number 4 was Glenn's proposal. That it was both it was both kind of crazy and also kind of sweet. My first thought was, how do you get that diamond ring, man? Was there a Shane company that's still open? I don't know if y'all have that on the.
You didn't see him get the ring?
I did, and then
okay.
at first I was like, oh, a diamond ring, what the? And then it was like, oh yeah, I guess that was the zombie girl.
Yeah.
By the way, did you notice how pissed off the zombie girl looked?
Yeah, she's like, hey,
Hey,
what are you doing?
yeah, she was not happy, which is great. He got the wedding ring because certainly she doesn't need it anymore. Her zombie pals aren't going to go like.
Her husband was right there.
Nice ring. No,
He's just sitting there going, just settle down here.
you don't really need those fingers.
Would you want a wedding ring that was chopped off a living corpse?
Well, am I in the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yes.
You would?
Sure.
Okay. Just
'Cause
curious.
it's,
I'm not saying.
it was a nice rock.
It would have to be cleaned off
Yes,
really well.
clearly, it was very shiny. He had taken pains to clean it.
When I was in kindergarten,
Yes.
I had this girl that I liked, and I gave her, and I took a bottle of my mom's perfume that was empty, and I filled it with water, but because it smelled like perfume,
Sure.
right?
Eau de cologne.
Yeah, and it's because it had the remnants of the perfume, and I gave it to the girl, and she was like so happy. She blushed. She sprayed it on herself, and she said it smelled good. And I go, it's water. And then she threw it down, and I was like very confused.
Too much
Never should have told her.
information,
Yeah, so
Jason.
Glenn did a great job by not
Yes,
saying where
by
he got that ring.
Yes. Yeah, and
He's at least learned that much.
As far as she knows, the Shane company is still open.
Or you could have pulled it off
Yeah.
some other corpse. I guess that wouldn't be much better.
No,
would it?
it's really not any better. I also liked his silent proposal. I know some people
Yes.
didn't like it,
I
but
know.
I thought that in
I
this
did.
case, words weren't needed, that they could just look at each other
Yeah.
and understand. And David and I have moments all the time where we just...
You just look at him and he's like, okay, I'll take out the garbage. Don't even have to say anything.
Yes, that is exactly where I was going with that.
All the speechifying in this episode, I very much appreciated that. I love it when big moments happen like that without any words needed. And she
Agreed.
just said yes, which is awesome.
As Herschel said in the last season, words can be meager things.
Very well said.
That was Herschel, not me.
Yeah, he just said just one more thing before that and gave her the ring, and she said yes. So very brief.
Yeah,
Love that.
so
it made me think, did you ever see the prequels to Star Wars?
Unfortunately, yes.
And the middle one had the whole romance with Amidala and Anakin, and they were like running through fields together.
I think I was asleep.
Professing their love.
Or nauseated.
Barf.
It wasn't like that.
No, not at all. It was
No.
very well done. I mean,
Yes.
when they can pull off a scene like a romantic scene, and you're going, "Aw,"
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people are going, "That's it," but not me. I thought I was touched.
Good, I'm
Jenny, she was saying at some point during the episode that she's bummed that Glenn is so kind of humorless these days. He's very,
Yeah.
I don't know, serious.
Yep.
And I agree. I mean, he's been through a lot, but like we told Stephen Yun, I hope he gets back to his happy-go-lucky again.
I think
Glenn
he will.
at some point.
Unless he dies.
Okay,
Your
are you
number
done
4.
with that? Okay. Okay, my number 4 is the speechifying. I felt like the first 75% of this episode was overly talky. But I did like it. So I sound a little more negative than I really feel. Like Merle talked with Carol about how she isn't scared of anything anymore.
Yeah.
Which was good. It totally foreshadowed the episode, and that's pretty cool. Daryl was standing up to Merle about Glenn trying to make things right, standing up for Merle to Glenn, trying to have Glenn tell Glenn that, he's going to make things right, and Glenn wouldn't budge. Makes me wonder if Glenn is going to feel bad about Merle dying, but I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
Yeah. And then, let's see. He was talking, and Merle was talking to Daryl about how maybe people need people like him around to do their dirty work, which was also good. But all of this just feels a little too like everyone's saying exactly what's on their mind, and I don't like that. I like it better when things are inferred, because people do that occasionally in real life, but more often than not, it's oblique.
Yes, and I like it when it's inferred as well. But I also don't like it when people sort of talk around things and then don't say the important things to each other. And this series has had some of that, especially when they were on Herschel's farm. Mm-hmm. They didn't convey important information to each other sometimes, and so they seem to be talking. This episode had a lot of talking, but I think it was talking for a purpose. Well,
I mean, a lot of that can be frustrating is when they don't say things that you'd think people would tell each other as far as like
in that moment,
logical plot things. But as far as saying your emotions, that's a little different. Like, you don't expect people to say exactly their emotions in real life.
And Merle was doing a lot of that this time.
I think so. I mean, or saying how he doesn't really understand himself. I thought that was cool, though. It's interesting, but I just don't know that he would even have enough insight, or he's too tough of a guy to say, I don't even understand myself or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, what are some other ones? Glenn telling Herschel when he gave him the watch, he didn't understand what he meant, but now he understands. I mean, that scene was important because he's asking Herschel's permission to marry his daughter. Mm-hmm. The whole thing about Michonne trying to get into Merle's head and sort of analyzing his relationship with the governor. And then the very last, the Rick talking about how the dictatorship is over and they have to stay together. Like I say, they all serve their purposes. And I think any one of those wouldn't have even registered with me, but there were just so many of it that it felt like too much. Anyways, I wanted to play Rick's speech. Here it is.
What I said last year, that first night after the farm, it can't be like that. It can't. What we do, what we're willing to do, who we are, it's not my call. It can't be. I couldn't sacrifice one of us for the greater good because we are the greater good. We're the reason we're still here, not me. This is life and death. How you live, how you die. It isn't up to me. I'm not your governor. We choose to go. We choose to stay. We stick together.
So that was moving, and it kind of reminded me of this other speech.
Last week, most of us were strangers. But we're all here now. And God knows how long we're going to be here. But if we can't live together, we're going to die alone.
And I'm not making fun of it. It just
No, I
reminded me
know.
of
Yeah.
it. You know, it was like, oh yeah, so true.
The live together, die alone speech. We know it well.
That was, by the way, early on in the first season of Lost. And
was.
after that, they all really stuck together and didn't like fight or anything. And they just worked together for the rest of the show.
What?
Just kidding.
So, okay, now that we're, since you mentioned the speech,
Okay.
I'm going to go to my, are you done?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm done with
gonna-
my speech.
Now, are you done with your little speech? To me, this whole season, it kind of occurred to me last night that this whole season is about power and leadership. And it's about the folks over at Woodbury versus the folks at the prison. Think about how much energy is being used to fight each other when all that energy could be put towards working together to try to
Make a smoothie or something.
to make a smoothie.
Or build better walls and live together, right?
Right.
Yeah.
A giant love smoothie. Right. But instead they're using it to battle each other or whatever. Anyway, it seems to be about power. And last night on The Talking Dead, did you
Peace, Nick.
you know, not, hey, wait
I'm
a
just kidding.
second.
Sorry,
Wait,
sorry.
hold on. This is where I'm going.
Okay, no, I
Last
didn't
night
see it.
on The Talking Dead, David Morrissey was on it, which is pretty neat because I never get to see interviews with David Morrissey. He just doesn't do that many.
Or do them.
Yes. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So he said that the governor was corrupted by power, right? You know, the old adage, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we kind of almost see this happen with Rick. Rick is getting to the point where he's making these calls, especially this one crazy call about Michonne. And he figures out, he sort of flips it at the end. And then he completely reverses himself, and he's all about sharing the power and the decisions at the end. So he was about to fall off that cliff with this Michonne decision, and which he was carrying out by himself against the advice, by the way, of Daryl and Herschel, both of whom said to him, "This is a bad idea. I don't
Right.
agree with it. I don't think you should
But
do
he's
it."
made it clear that you do it my way.
Right,
up till
exactly.
then.
And then he figures it out that, am I going to be that kind of guy? Am I going to be like the governor? Hell no. So he makes a speech and he says, basically, I'm wrong and I'm sorry. And I'm not your governor. We choose to go. We choose to stay. We vote. We can stay or we can fight or we can go. We can stay and we can fight or we can go. And I thought,
Or we can give Michonne up.
no, wait.
If we all vote on it, Michonne, what do you vote?
So this was an important turning point in terms of power and
I agree with all
leadership.
that.
And I
One
loved
other
it.
thing, yeah, I agree with all that, and I think it's good storytelling. Another thing too that Rick's been going through is just feeling the weight of the responsibility of having to be responsible for people and having them die off, which is why he kind of went nuts and turned Tyrese away. And I think this is also a reaction to that, realizing that no, I can't take this all on myself.
Right.
You know, we all need to.
If he starts taking it all on, he's going to make really bad decisions, like the Michonne decision that he almost made.
He just can't hack it.
Right, exactly. So it all kind of made sense.
Oh yeah, it made sense to me too, and it was a nice speech.
Live together, die alone, man.
Now we are on number 3, right?
Sure.
And it's your turn.
Is it? I just went.
Oh, okay. So mine was Glenn proposing to Maggie, which I thought was great, and I've already said everything I want to say about it.
That was nice.
2.
Okay. Mine was, it was hard because there are a lot to choose from, but I'm going to go with a short little scene, and it was Herschel at praying with Beth and Maggie.
It was nice.
And that actor, Scott, what's his last name?
Gimple?
Wilson.
No, Wilson.
Scott Wilson. Scott Wilson has such a beautiful voice, and he's such a good actor. And the sound of his voice reading the Bible verses overlaid with Rick trying to find wire, like just basically clawing through the trash like a rodent, trying to find wire to secure Michonne. And then he sees Lori and he changes his mind, and all of it is set against Herschel's beautiful voice reading the Bible. And, Herschel's already told him this bad choice. He is against the plan. He's doing the only thing he can do, which is hold his daughter's hands and pray. And it was so beautiful and moving. I loved it.
I did too. And when he first started that prayer, I thought, I guess my problem is I feel like there's a bit of tap dancing going on. Like maybe there was a little less story than there should have been in the second half of this season. So things are getting drawn out a little more than I would like the governor and Rick spending a whole episode talking, negotiating. But for this scene, when he started to read that, I was thinking, oh, here comes some more tap dancing. But then they overlaid it, like you said, with other things. And then I'm like, oh, this is a beautiful scene. Yeah, I loved it.
Right, exactly. And I don't mind tap dancing as long as it's tap dancing with a purpose. And if it shows Scott Wilson doing just about anything, then I'm satisfied.
Like I said, did you ever watch Soaps?
Yes, a couple. Yeah. When I was in high school, my friends and I watched All My Children.
All My Children. Was Erica Kane on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't she always on there?
Yeah, she always was. That was a safe bet.
Yeah.
And those soaps tap dance too much. There is a line, and if you have two characters having the same conversation for a whole week, which they did often.
Yeah.
And hitting the same beats over and over again.
Right.
Then it can be like, okay, can we move things along? We get it.
Right.
But this episode just skirted on the edge of that for me. It wasn't totally firmly in that territory.
How many husbands did Erica Kane end up having when the series ended?
I don't know.
50?
Many. Lots. Nobody's going to care about this, but they're doing an internet version of it and trying to get as many of the actors back as they can. But I think they're getting like a lot of the secondary actors and none of the top ones.
Wow.
So we're now on number 2? My number 2 is just Merle. I know that's wide, but it was hard to pin down. This was his episode.
Yes. Yes, it was.
And I'm not sure I like the idea of them having Merle go out as a hero. Not everyone has to go out as a hero, but I did like the way it was handled, that Michonne kind of got to him and he decided to go kamikaze on the governor, and the whole scene was amazing.
It really was.
And it did kind of make sense. Like the whole episode, you could see that he was struggling with his station in life, and at the end he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah. And he went out a hero, but he was a sort of a dubious hero, because he was going to bring Michonne to the governor. He changed his mind.
That's what I'm saying. When he changed his mind, that's the hero part, not the part about capturing Michonne.
Right. But it's not, at first I thought, I wasn't convinced that he was going to bring her to the governor ever. I thought his whole plan the entire time was to always let her out, and then later, especially after when I saw the
Talking Dead.
Yeah, then they said no. He changed his mind.
I was trying to think what made Merle decide to let Michonne go, and so right before he did that, she reminded him that he hadn't done any killing until he met the governor.
Yeah,
and then he said, we can just go back to the prison, because that probably got him thinking, oh yeah, things really got bad and I became a darker person when I met him. And then she says, we can just go back to the prison. And he says, I can't. And she says, why? And he doesn't answer. But I think it's very simple. He feels like he can't go back because Glenn hates him for what he did to Maggie. That's the main bad thing that he did that he hasn't been forgiven for. And they touched on that again earlier. And he blames the governor for that because he was doing the governor's business when he did that. So that's when he decides the only way to make amends is to go kill the governor or die trying. And if he succeeded, then he could go back and be with them. I think that's what was going on there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I love when she tells him, by the way, that she says, you talk about the weight of what you did, but a truly bad man is as light as a feather.
How does she know that?
She's smart.
I don't agree.
She's smart.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I guess people that everyone else think of as bad, they just don't feel the weight of what they're doing. I guess that's
Right.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a certain president, but I won't say it. So let's see. When Merle grabbed the phone, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I was like, oh, is he going to go crazy too? But he was cleverly using it to tie up Michonne.
Yes.
And one of our listeners mentioned that he also stuck her fingers through the dial.
The dial.
That was kind of cool.
And creepy.
Yeah, I just got some more notes on Merle. When Merle parked in front of Big Jake's bar and he was drinking whiskey and blasting music.
Yeah.
I love that. I was glad he finally found a bottle of whiskey before he died. You know, he deserves that much.
Yeah.
Too bad he didn't have the Daryl's blue meth.
I know.
Daryl must have saved that.
One last good time. Really? You think Daryl kept
I don't
that?
know. He had it for a while.
Crystal blue persuasion.
I love that Rick found Merle tearing apart a mattress looking for drugs in the beginning.
And then after he didn't find any, he's like, this place must have been no fun at all.
And I wonder, like, why did he choose that moment to start? He's like, I can't take it anymore. He starts ripping apart the mattresses.
Well, he does have that big knife hand.
Another reason why he's a dubious hero is he accidentally killed Alan's innocent son, Ben.
Oh,
which is
I know.
collateral damage.
Well, he didn't mean to. It was an
No,
accident.
that's collateral damage. You don't mean to. That's the kind of thing that happens when a guy like Merle goes out a hero.
And then ends up eating his entrails.
And Alan will probably be even more of a dick now, Ben's dad.
Yeah, nothing good's going to come of that.
I was glad to see Zombie Merle. I want to see more zombie versions of characters after they die. And one thing I realized we haven't seen on this show is one of the characters gets bit or dies, turns into a zombie, and then kills somebody else. We haven't seen that yet. I want to see that.
Oh, right. But we did just see Merle eating Ben. And he
Right.
did kill Ben by accident, so we kind of saw it.
Does the fact that I want to see a zombie kill somebody make me a sicko?
Yes, I'm offended.
Okay.
Sicko.
And then some good Merle lines. Merle says, we got any whiskey? Hell, I'd even drink vodka. And then Daryl later says, what are you doing down here? And Merle says, just looking for a little crystal meth. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't mess my life up when everything's going so sweet.
I know. It was great. Or when he's talking to Rick and he says, you're as cold as ice, Officer Friendly.
Yeah, I think he called him Officer Friendly up on the roof in the season 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Nice callback.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character didn't fundamentally change, but it gained a lot of depth, and everything he said was interesting. I mean, at times I wish that his whole head was duct taped, but more and more it seemed like things were fun when they popped out of his
really
mouth.
wish that, do you?
No, I actually loved hearing the crazy things he
Yeah.
said. He was a meth-taking, clap-getting redneck hillbilly.
That sounds like a good old country song. Taking clap having.
Redneck
boy.
hillbilly. Yeah, he was. Yeah. And I love that the parade of walkers behind that big old sedan, like he was some sort of crazy Pied Piper. I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I mean, there were some moments in the show that were so great that I that's why I feel like I should pull my score up a little. 3.842.
In the end, he, as Worf would say on Star Trek The Next Generation, he died a good death.
And Michael Rooker will be missed. On
He
the
will.
show.
And
Yeah.
he took out some Woodbury soldiers, so.
And a little kid. But yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah, I'm going to miss his character.
Because did he really accomplish anything?
He did. He took out a lot of Woodbury soldiers.
Yeah.
And he made them use up a lot of their ammo. I mean, he damaged them. He gave them some damage. He didn't take
Okay.
out the head guy.
head guy, yeah.
But he tried. God knows.
Yeah, that guy bit off his fingers.
Yeah, that was yucky. A
That
little
was awesome.
finger food.
I mean, yucky. Finger food. Okay, I got that one. I finally heard one of your jokes.
Look at you.
I'm so proud of myself. Okay, number 1. Oh, you already said. Well, no, I'm sorry.
I actually had a spare one,
Okay,
so
good.
that's my number 1. My number 1 is Daryl finding the zombie Merle. His Norman Reedus was so heartbreaking when he sees him and he realizes it's his big brother, and he has all these
Yeah.
complicated emotions. But the
Yes,
thing is, he
I agree.
realizes that that, you know, he's going to be alone in this world. And it's so sad. And he cries and he pushes him away. And the zombie Merle just keeps coming at him.
When he pushed him away, I was thinking, you're leaving yourself open to his knife hand. And then I'm like, oh, he probably doesn't remember how to use that.
No. Zombies probably don't know how to use weapons. They only just know how to chew. But it was very, very sweet, and I thought Norman Reedus was just lovely.
It was very good.
At the very and I like how they ended with him sort of howling. I mean, he's stabbing his brother and he's crying, and then it just ends. And it made me think of. Did you ever see American Werewolf in London?
I did, but it's been a long time.
At the very end, the hero dies. He gets shot, and he turns back into the young man, the young college student that he was before. And his girlfriend just lets out a wail, and then it ends, and they go into that great Blue Moon song. Yeah, it's a really, really great ending. It's just shocking, and so this was kind of a shocking ending that I loved. That's it.
So, if you haven't seen that movie, now you know how it ends.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. If you want to know how many other movies,
Email should be sent to Jason.
I agree. And that was my number one. It was more specifically Daryl knifing Merle in the face. It was very graphic. And like a lot of other things in the show, they go for the gore. And I don't mind that so much anymore, but I thought maybe it would have been even more powerful if they hadn't been so graphic with it, if you could kind of just infer what he was doing, because there was the shock of the knife repeatedly going into Merle's face. That was one emotion I was having. And then the other was Daryl just being so sad. And I would have rather if I just focused more on that.
Yeah.
Because that was really the deep emotion of the scene. We already get a lot of shock in this show.
Yeah.
I wanted, but even with that little complaint, I agree. It was just very emotional and I like what you said. He had complex emotions about it, because to me it looked like he was sad that he lost his brother. He was mad that his brother keeps leaving him, and now he left him one more time. He was pissed off at his brother for all the years of bullying and torture, and he was just getting back at him for that, you know? It's like, fuck you, Merle. I mean, I don't know. I'm just reading into it, but it just seemed like there was a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job at it.
Yep. It was heartbreaking.
Yep. Yeah, I guess that's all I had to say about that.
By the way, on The Talking Dead, they showed a little making of video, and they showed the actor who plays the kid Ben right when he's getting eaten by Merle, and he's got his he's laying on the ground, he's got the entrails hanging out, and he lifts up his head and he said, "I'm told the blood tastes minty."
I heard that kid got demoted to extra because he was only in a certain amount of episodes and only ended up having a certain amount of lines. So they just started referring to, or maybe it was during that scene they just said zombie extra.
Really?
Yeah, on Talking Dead. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go into just random notes. Is that cool?
Yeah, do it.
So Daryl said to Rick, when Rick was trying to go after Merle, and Daryl said, "I'll go." He said, "Plus, when they come back here, you need to be ready. Your family too." That was a moment. He told Rick, "Your family too." I thought that was pretty deep. I didn't understand what those two had to do with each other. Like, you can't go because your family too. I guess he was just trying to take care of him in some way. But anyways, Daryl's evolving. He's getting more integrated with the group and thinking of himself less of a loner, I think.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see. I don't know how Merle's death is going to change that, if at all.
I hope they don't make too big of a deal out of it.
Yeah, me too. I do too. I hope not. The car alarm scene was amazing, where Merle and Michonne almost got eaten. Like I said, I knew there was big spoilers out there, and by this point I had figured out, okay, Merle's probably a goner, because I know there's a picture out there of someone as a zombie. And at first I thought, oh, it's going to be this scene. The zombies are getting close. They're going to bite him. And then for a split second, I thought, oh, it's going to be Michonne. She's the one who's going to die. That would have been a twist, but I'm so glad they didn't, because I'm not ready to be done with her.
I am not ready either.
Yeah. The governor bit Merle's fingers off, and then he turned his head to the side and spit them to the side, I thought it was very polite that he didn't spit them right into Merle's face.
That would have been insult to injury.
Yeah. And took off his glove and slapped him across the face a couple times. I have two questions for you. When Andrew Lincoln told us there were two amazing performances in this episode, do you think he was talking about Michael Rooker and his own performance, Andrew Lincoln?
No.
Oh. Norman Reedus?
And
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I already asked this. Do you
Or
think Merle's...
Michonne. It could be.
I think it was Norman, but with that crying scene.
Yeah, you're right.
But Michonne, you're right. She did great too.
She did.
Do you think Merle's death will change Daryl? And if so, how?
I think that he'll go back and want to seek solace in Carol's arms.
Maybe so. This might be what finally puts him over with her.
That's what I'm hoping.
You got anything else?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back with Dallas Roberts. So we do this podcast, we talk about The Walking Dead every week, and one of the things that keeps coming up is it seems like every episode that you're in, you give, you always do, you just give these really great line readings. They're often really rich and unexpected, and I actually have an example of one that I really like here, the way you say no at the end of this.
Let her go.
Why would I do that?
She just wants to be with her people.
You talk to her?
No.
When I hear something like that, I can imagine reading the script, and I would have never thought to have said it that way. And I just wonder, how do you approach how you'll say things?
I've always been fascinated by the difference between the way real people talk and the way actors talk. Real people don't know what they're going to say next, and they're sort of making it up as they go along, and so their thoughts are way ahead of their mouths, and sometimes their thoughts can change the way the mouth moves and works. So I'm a student of, I'll watch or I just listen to people in conversation, and pick up, oh, that's an interesting way to do that. There was John Malkovich, who's like a personal hero of mine. Mm-hmm. He had this line in this play. The line as written was, did you clean that sink for Mom? She doesn't like a single tea leaf in that sink. But he went, she doesn't like a single tea leaf in that sink. And it makes you think that there's a sink that she likes tea leaves in.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff I'm totally attracted to. And so therefore I'll sort of throw in when I can.
That's great. I've noticed that some actors do that and it changes the meaning, but in a way that feels like the actor just wanted to not be cliche, but it doesn't quite make sense. But I think every time you do it, it just adds something to it,
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, hopefully it's something that's organic, that's coming out of something that's just happened. The no there about did you talk to her is a defensive sort of like what's going to happen now sort of thing that just sort of came out based on David's face basically.
Okay, let's move on. So when this season first started, I thought Milton seemed like an evil mad scientist, and that I wasn't even sure if he cared about anyone. It just seemed like he cared about his experiments. But as it progressed, it became clear that Milton is actually a nice guy, and maybe he's a bit wishy-washy, but I think deep down he has a good heart. So I'm wondering if, you when you first started, you might have been aware that people might think he was evil.
Yeah, first of all, I play the character from the inside out. So, as far as I'm concerned, me and this really great, powerful guy, the governor, are at the forefront of trying to sort of set up a new civilization and that sort of thing. So it didn't feel at all sort of creepy to me. And then also you shoot scenes that don't necessarily make it into the final script, the final program. So Milton, because of a couple of cuts here and there, he sort of did have this pall of mystery and then therefore maybe evil about him that I thought was fun to hear about, because I certainly never played it that way. I think he's in. I mean, everybody loves our heroes on The Walking Dead, and everybody kind of knows that the governor's not going to be a good situation for them, and so anyone in league with him is immediately suspect.
Yes, yeah.
But I think Milton does have a good heart and is is interested in peace and civility and humanity, as opposed to some sort of mad scientist in the lab chopping up bodies just for fun.
Right. Great, thank you. So one of our listeners, he contributes to the show a lot. His name's Jaden Walker, and